Hey everybody, Regan Hagstead here with Mortgage Success Blueprint, and today I want to do a quick little topic which is focus on the fundamentals. I think too many loan officers, too many people in our business get away from the fundamentals and they start focusing on all the other things and they lose sight of what really is important and what we really do. So what I want to do is I want to talk about something that you guys might understand, because I'm always using sports analogies, which is baseball, right? I played baseball in college, like it's my favorite sport, but the thing that I noticed that is really in line with what we do as far as lending and being an originator is there's every batter that goes to bat has a totally different stance. Some people have their hands high, some are low, some bend their knees more, some stand straight up, some are left-handed, some are right-handed. Like anybody that's watched baseball, you'll notice that every single person that walks up to the plate, totally different. But if you were to watch video, which I've watched a lot of it, at the time of impact, when they're hitting that baseball, the time of impact, every single major league hitter has the exact same position. They all have the arm in the exact same position. Their legs are all in the exact same place. The bat is in the exact same place. At the point of contact, they're identical. Why? Because to get to that level of sport, you have to be good at the fundamentals. And in our industry, nobody checks the fundamentals. Everybody catches this new CRM or this thing or the shiny object in front of them, or they forget the stuff that was really helpful for them, let's say 2 or 3 years ago, and they get away from it. I'm sure we all catch ourselves doing it. But if you can focus on the fundamentals, you're always going to have a steady flow, and those are what give you the foundation to do all the other cool things. So right now I want to bring up, in my opinion, what the 4 fundamentals are on the screen. So the first one is make your calls, talk to people, build relationships. That's what we do. We originate. Too many times people forget to make their calls. The second one is be organized and consistent. The third is deliver on what you promise. You can't tell somebody when you're first meeting with them, we're going to close on time and we're going to do all these things, but then you never do it. So you got to really deliver on what you promise. And the fourth thing is trust the process. Don't focus on the product. Trust what you're doing, what you put in place. I know that's a Nick Saban thing, or they do down in Alabama, but it really applies to what we do. So trust in the process, don't focus on the product. So now I want to kind of go into what I mean by making your calls, talking to people, building relationships, right? When you look at that aspect of things, that's what we do. Technically, our job is a sales job, right? And some people think it's more advisory, but ultimately, we've got to be talking to people. We've got to be making new contacts. We've got to be building relationships, whether it's realtors, other potential referral partners, our existing clients, our past clients. So the thing that I like to do that can focus you in on making your calls, as I call it, is set a number of people that you need to speak with per week. Now, everybody's going to have a little bit different number, right? Some people that do a ton of units right now are going to have a higher number. Some people that do lower units will have a different number. To me personally, I think 50. 50 is my number. I need to have 50 legit conversations a week. I don't care if it's 50 in one day. I don't care if it's 10 in one day. I don't care if I go to an event and I meet 18 new people. I got to be with 50 people a week. Current clients, past clients, new referral partners, existing referral partners. And I got to have those 50 conversations about my business. Not just saying, hey, how you doing, right? We need to have 50 conversations about what we do every single week. Now, depending on your units, maybe you start out and you say, I need to have 20. I need to have 20 conversations with people about what I do. Maybe it's even just calling somebody that you already know that isn't really certain what value you have or what your value proposition is. Just call them. Talk to them, say, hey, so-and-so, I know that we've been friends for a while and I just want to make it clear this is what I do. I mean, maybe in your industry you'll run across somebody that will need my services. So I wanted to let you know some specifics on what I do. But either way, you got to have a number. Now, do you need to be as regimented where you sit there and you get a whipping if you don't hit your call number? No. But what it does is it gives you a gauge of what you should be doing. And you can tell if you've had a successful originating week by the number of conversations you've had with people. The second thing is being organized and being consistent. Okay, without organization, it's chaos. You're shotgun approaching it. it's never going to go anywhere. Yeah, you might do some deals and get some deals closed, but it's not scalable. You can't build a business off of that. You got to be organized. And the other thing that is extremely key is consistent. Because in our industry, we don't know when things are going to come in. We don't know when somebody's going to make an offer and find the house they like. We don't know when rates are going to go up or down for refinances. So you have to be consistent, because you could have the best plan, but if you do it for 7 days and then stop because you didn't get a loan, it's not going to work. Timing might not have been right. So what you got to do is you got to be consistent. So if you're organized and you're consistent with what you do, and you do the same thing all of the time for a long period of time, that's how businesses grow. That's how you build a business and get out of a transactional based model. The third fundamental is really delivering on what you promised. And I know this sounds simple, right? But literally taking it personally, that, when I first talked to this client, I promised I would deliver X, Y, and Z. Now, I'm not talking about an interest rate. I'm talking about that you would care for them, you would look out, you would give them the best advice that you could, you would work on a program that's going to be the best for them, or whether it's a real estate partner. I'm going to do everything I can to be a part of your team and allow you to sell more houses and make more money or have more free time. Whatever you've promised them and whatever the reason that this person is working with you, you gotta deliver, and you gotta take it personally. You gotta close on time. You gotta meet contingencies. You have to keep people informed. Too many times people get the deal in the door and they forget about the rest. You gotta have that as a priority and something that's always in the front of your mind when you're focusing on your fundamentals. So this is the fourth thing that every top producing loan officer has. And I've been fortunate to have kind of moved up through my career. I've been also kind of, I guess you'd say now, fortunate that I've hit points where I was stagnant for a year or two, where I just did the same number of units and volume, and it really helped me realize certain things. And one of the things that I really took away, and then also now seeing a lot of other top producers and kind of how they run stuff, is they're more focused on their business model than they are the result. They're more focused on, how is my file flow? So when I lock a loan and I turned it over, what then happens? They focus on that conveyor belt. They focus on the team roles and the team model. They don't worry about how many units came in. And they could consider a great week putting one loan into escrow or no loans into escrow, but really dialing in the rest of their business or implementing a strategy they know is going to pay off long term. And so when you focus on what you're doing, focusing on that process over what the actual end product is, enjoying the practice, enjoying the phone calls, giving it your all when you're doing your follow-ups or when you're creating scenarios for clients. If you can focus on those things, the results are going to speak for themselves. You don't even have to worry about those results. You have to trust that they're going to come, which is the hardest thing. But if you commit to it and you believe in it, it's really going to help. And when I look at the end of this to kind of wrap it all up, of all the originators that I know that, let's say, do 100 units or more a year, which I would consider to be doing fairly well, right, and having a really good sense of what's going on, every single one of those loan officers, they do these four things. These are the fundamentals of originating. So write them down, keep them, if you put them on the side of your desk, just keep some notes and understand that over time, naturally it's going to happen. You're going to pull away from them. Bring yourself back. That's all I've got for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Any comments, let me know. Feel free to share. Send it out to anybody else, and I'll talk to you guys soon.